Hello students, welcome to the lecture on consumer behavior. And after the lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Explain the consumer buying behavior, discuss the factors of influencing behavior, explain the consumer psychology, define consumer value and satisfaction, describe the market measurement and forecasting, understand the concept of niche marketing. Let us begin with a brief introduction to consumer behavior. Consumer behavior consists of the actions that consumers take in regard to making decisions about purchasing various goods and services. A study of this phenomenon will often focus on the psychological and other factors that motivate people to either buy a product or reject it in favor of some other option. In order to create a successful marketing campaign, it is necessary to understand these factors and utilize those behaviors in a manner that motivates consumers to make purchases. One of the key elements that influence consumer behavior is the self-image of the consumer. People who crave admiration in order to feel good about them will often go to extraordinary lengths to receive validation from others. This will often lead them to purchase the latest trendy clothing and the newest car loaded with extras, and being seen in the right places can be extremely important. By contrast, people who are less concerned with what others think are likely to focus on making purchases they deem as practical and capable of providing them with the comfort and service they require. Cultural factors can also play a role in shaping the consumer behavior. Social pressure is a related factor that has a considerable influence on consumer behavior. Consumers may be motivated to purchase specific brands because people they admire have bought those same products. The desire to fit into a social circle can influence the selection of clothing, food, the type of home and neighborhood, and just about any other buying decision. With social pressure, the focus is not to stand out and be admired, but to fit into the group of choice and be recognized as a part of that group. Education also plays a major role in determining consumer behavior. This relates to both formal education and learning in general. As people become more informed about their purchasing options, products that were once desirable may be cast aside in favor of other products that the consumer deems to be more attractive in some manner. Let's now talk about the consumer buying behavior. Buying behavior is the decision processes and acts of people involved in buying and using products. We need to understand why consumers make the purchases that they make. What factors influence the consumer's purchases? The changing factors in our society. Consumer buying behavior refers to the buying behavior of the ultimate customer. A firm needs to analyze buying behavior, for the buyer's reactions to a firm's marketing strategy has a great impact on the firm's success. The marketing concept stresses that a firm should create a marketing mix that satisfies or gives utility to customers, therefore needs to analyze the what, where, when and how consumers buy. Marketers can now better predict consumers will respond to marketing strategies. The stages of the consumer buying process. There are 6 stages to the consumer buying decision process. Actual purchasing is only one stage of the process. Not all decision processes lead to a purchase. All consumer decisions do not always include all 6 stages, determined by the degree of complexity. The 6 stages are problem recognition, the awareness of need, difference between the desired state and the actual condition, deficit in assortment of products, hunger food, hunger stimulates need to eat, information search, internal search memory, and external search if we need more information, friends and relatives, word of mouth, marketer dominated sources, comparison shopping, public sources, etc. A successful information search leaves the buyer with possible alternatives, the evoked set. Hungry, want to go out and eat, evoked set is Chinese food, Indian food, Burger King, American food, Klondike Kates, etc. Evaluation of alternatives need to establish criteria for evaluation, features the buyer wants or does not want. Rank and weight alternatives or resume research. May decide that we want to eat something spicy. Americans get highest rank, etc. Purchase decision. Choose buying alternative includes product, package, store, method of purchase, etc. Purchase may differ from decision time lapse between 4 and 5, product availability, post-purchase evaluation outcome, satisfaction or dissatisfaction, cognitive dissonance, have we made the right decision? Types of consumer buying behavior. Types of consumer buying behavior are determined by the level of involvement in purchase decision, the importance and intensity of interest in a product in a particular situation. Buyer's level of involvement determines why he or she is motivated to seek information about a certain product and brand, but virtually ignores others. High involvement purchases high-priced goods, products visible to others, and the higher the risk, the higher the involvement. The types of risk. There is personal risk, social risk, economic risk. The four types of consumer buying behavior are routine response or programmed behavior. Buying low involvement, frequently purchased low cost items need very little search and decision effort, purchased almost automatically. Examples include soft drinks, snack foods, milk, etc. Limited decision making, buying product occasionally. When we need to obtain information about unfamiliar brand in a familiar product category, perhaps. Extensive decision making, complex, high involvement. Unfamiliar, expensive and or infrequently bought products, high degree of economic, performance, psychological risk. Information from the company's friends and relatives, store personnel, etc. go through all 6 stages of the buying process. Impulse buying, no conscious planning. The purchase of the same product does not always elicit the same buying behavior. Product can shift from one category to the next.
In 2013, 5 researchers from 4 different countries came together for one mission. The mission Häagen-Dazs, to investigate Häagen-Dazs from a buyer behavior perspective. The secondary research finding helped us determine that Häagen-Dazs was number 3rd in the ice cream market in the United Kingdom. Yet, it was growing in a much smaller proportion than its competitor from Unilever, Carrefour, and Ben & Jerry. This laid a foundation for our research objectives.
Our secondary research findings helped us lay a foundation and provided us a direction to identify our 3 research objectives.
We divided our research methodology into primary and secondary research. We conducted our primary research by observations, blind tests, and focus group discussions. We studied and analyzed the means and chain model for Häagen-Dazs and Ben & Jerry in 3 ways: attributes, consequences, and values. We analyzed consumers were well aware of the brand, its advertising, and they had an easy recall of the brand. Häagen-Dazs is a low involvement product for consumers, while smell, color of ice cream, and packaging played a key role on consumers' perceptions. Consumer comprehended Häagen-Dazs as high quality and high price as compared to Carrefour and home brands, which were perceived as low quality and low price, while the closest competitor Ben & Jerry was perceived average price and average quality.
We analyzed reference groups do play an influence in consumers' buying behavior. Informal reference groups with family and friends, aspirational reference groups with celebrities like Bradley Cooper, and virtual reference groups like Facebook and Twitter. The decision-making model helps us infer that respondents feel, act, and think for the purchase of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, placing Haagen-Dazs at low involvement and affection, that is quadrant 4, with conditioned responses where impact of mood and occasion take a key role.
Thus, these 5 researchers, while investigating Haagen-Dazs from a buyer behavior perspective, suggested the following marketing recommendation.
Moving on further, now let's discuss the factors of influencing behavior. All psychological, social and physical behavior of the potential customers as they become aware of the evaluate, purchase, consume and tell others about products and services. It is the study of processes involved when individuals or groups select, purchase, use or dispose of products, services, ideas, concepts or experiences to satisfy consumer needs and desires. Cultural influence. Culture refers to values, ideas, attitudes and other meaningful symbols created by people to shape human behaviors. Values, beliefs, preferences, tastes handed down generation to generation. Cultural is different from country to country, area to area. Social influence, reference groups. People or institutions whose opinion are valued, to whom a person looks for guidance, like family, friends and celebrities. Social classes, upper class, lower upper class, upper middle class, lower middle class, working. Opinion leaders, the process of influencing others, opinion via word of mouth, information from media to opinion leaders to other members. Celebrities, experts, salesmen, dealers can be opinion leaders. Personal factors. Individual factors like age, occupation, lifestyle and personality influence the consumer decision making. The age and occupation factors and their application earlier in the marketing environment unit. Lifestyle and its influence on the consumer in the segmentation unit. Personality is the image of people's traits. Traits include self-confidence, dominance, autonomy, defensiveness, adaptability and aggressiveness. Many companies use these concepts in their marketing strategy or marketing communications. For example, Bajaj Pulsar used muscularity to highlight its image, definitely male. Psychological factors. One of the most widely mentioned theories of motivation is the hierarchy of needs put forth by psychologists. Maslow saw human needs in the form of a hierarchy, ascending from the lowest to the highest, and he concluded that when one set of needs is satisfied, this kind of need ceases to be a motivator. Physiological needs. These are important needs for sustaining the human life. Food, water, warmth, shelter, sleep, medicine and education are the basic physiological needs which fall in the primary list of need satisfaction. Maslow was of an opinion that until these needs were satisfied to a degree to maintain life, no other motivating factors will work. Security or safety needs. These are the needs to be free of physical danger and of the fear of losing a job, property, food or shelter. It also includes protection against any emotional harm. Social needs. Human beings are social animals. They strive to be in the society. In this type of needs, people will try to satisfy their needs for affection, acceptance and friendship. Esteem needs. According to Maslow, once the people satisfied with social needs, they would like to have esteem needs. This category includes power, prestige, status and self-confidence needs. It includes both internal esteem factors like self-respect, autonomy and achievements and external esteem factors such as status, recognition and attention. The need for self-actualization. Maslow regards this as the highest need in his hierarchy. It is the drive to become what one is capable of becoming. It includes growth, achieving one's potential and self-fulfillment. We shall now talk about consumer psychology. Consumer psychology is a specialty area that studies how thoughts, beliefs, feelings and perceptions influence how people buy and relate to goods and services. One formal definition of the field describes it as the study of individuals, groups or organizations and the processes they use to select, secure, use and dispose of products, services, experiences or ideas to satisfy needs and the impacts that these processes have on the consumer and the society. Professionals in this field look at things like the decision-making process, social persuasion and motivation to help understand why shoppers buy some things but not others. The term consumer psychology refers to the study of how people relate to the goods and services they use in their daily lives. Also known as the study of consumer behavior, consumer psychology provides opportunities to examine issues such as what factors are most important when people decide to purchase a particular item, how customers determine the value of a service, and whether or not television and magazine advertisements can convince a reluctant consumer to try a new product for the first time. This field seeks to describe and explain consumer behavior, although some consumer psychologists will attempt to predict or influence a customer's decisions.
My research focuses on consumer psychology primarily, and I'm most interested in consumer emotions and how emotions shape consumers' judgments and decisions. I like to study situations in which consumers indulge, for example, when they buy a luxury product or when they attack that chocolate cake, because these situations are extremely rich emotionally. For example, consumers may wish to buy a nicer car, but they also may wish to control their expenses, and as a consequence, if they decide to buy the car, they may feel happy for having purchased the car of their dreams, but also guilty for having spent so much money. A big part of the literature in decision-making assumes a more rational economical perspective, which argues that we are rational agents and that emotions shouldn't affect our choices. But as I studied the subject, I learned that emotions not only shape a great deal of our thoughts, decisions, and behavior, but also that emotions explain a great deal of our connections with products, brands, and companies. It's the same for positive emotions. Pride and happiness, for example, are positive emotions that can affect consumers differently. In one study, my co-authors and I interviewed consumers who had purchased a luxury product in the last 1 year, and we found that pride tends to last longer than happiness. So the more time has passed after consumers made that purchase, the prouder they were and the less happy or the less excited they were about the purchase. This suggests that products or brands that generate a feeling of pride might keep consumers connected to the brand for a longer time. Brands and companies can be seen as people. They have their characteristics and their personalities. So imagine that there is one person A with her characteristics and personality, and myself, a consumer, with my characteristics and personality. We might both be nice people, but for us to develop something meaningful, to develop a strong connection and loyalty, there must be an emotional match between us. So brands, they not only have to be authentic and true to their personality and be consistent in their actions, but they also have to know how to connect emotionally to their customers to generate this love and loyalty between a consumer and a brand.
Industrial buyer behavior versus domestic buyer behavior. The behavior of buyer depends on the concentration of buyers. Organizational buyers, they are concentrated in the same geographical area. Domestic buyers are spread everywhere. Adherence to specification. Organizational buyers stick to their product specification because it affects their efficiency, their product, the quality, the after-sales service, market share and ROI. Domestic buyers are not so rigid to their specification. Let's now explore the consumer value and the satisfaction. Before designing effective online customer satisfaction surveys, it is important to define what customer value and satisfaction means to the organization. Customer value and satisfaction may differ between companies. Companies interested in customer satisfaction must first determine customer perceived value, CPV. The CPV refers to the value delivered to the customer through products or services. Once this value is identified, customer satisfaction surveys can be created. The CPV is comprised of total customer value and total customer cost. The CPV or customer delivered value can be determined through a combination of total customer value and total customer cost. Total customer value is TCV, is the total value that a customer spends on products and services. It is a reflection of the ability of a good business to attract and keep its customers. A good business will have customers coming back to purchase their products and services. Companies such as Johnson & Johnson develop and sell a host of personal hygiene products. Suppose a customer purchases worth of products every month for her family. However, the company's excellence in increasing that customer TCV will depend on whether the customer will purchase other Johnson & Johnson products, especially newly offered ones. The TCV is comprised of the following. Image value. This is the value that the organization's image holds among customers. For example, increasing the reliability of products and services increases a company's image value. Personnel value. This is the value that company personnel impart onto products and services offered. Services value. This is the value of services offered by company to customers. Product value. This is the value of products offered by the company to the customers. Total customer cost, or TCC, is the total cost that customers can expect to incur when seeking, using and disposing of products and services. The benefits of customer satisfaction. Surveys. It is not enough to measure a business's success by the number of customers it has or it gains per quarter. Companies have to measure customer satisfaction frequently to address issues of most importance to their customer. Since customer satisfaction is related to customer retention and loyalty, the use of customer satisfaction surveys is a long-term business strategy. Market measurement and forecasting. Market management continually scans the marketing environment for signs of opportunities and threats. Furthermore, we have seen that marketing management divides the heterogeneous mass market up into more homogeneous segments to facilitate the identification and exploitation of opportunities. Determining the potential of a market segment is indispensable for analyzing the opportunities within a segment and for deciding if it can possibly be chosen as a target market. It is not only the present market potential that is important and gives an indication of opportunities, but the firm must also be interested in market forecasts. The firm wants to survive in the long term and achieve its primary goal being to maximize profitability. Consequently, market forecasting is also a very important aid for decision making by marketing management. Measuring and forecasting requires an analysis of the market with an aim of expressing it in quantitative numeric quantities, both present and in the future. The quantitative measurement and forecasting of the market, together with its qualitative characteristics, are used as a basis for decision making by marketing management. This is a very superficial description of the important role market measurement and forecasting play. The importance of market measurement and forecasting. The main goal of market measurement and forecasting is to serve as an aid in the decisions that marketing management has to make. As has already been emphasized, the quality of decisions cannot be better than the information they are based on. Information gathered enables marketing management to make their decisions in a more objective and scientific manner and to lessen the risk and uncertainty that accompany subjective decisions and guesswork. Naturally, marketing management often make decisions which are not very important and or do not hold a great risk. It would be ridiculous to arrange for the gathering of information by means of measurement and forecasting for all such small decisions of this nature. Thus, it must be emphasized that just as with market research, the importance and risk of the decision must be weighed up against the cost and time involved in the gathering and processing of information. Concept of niche marketing. Niche markets are an attractive opportunity available to small businesses forced to compete against the scale economies that large competitors are able to achieve. In the food sector, organics, local products, heritage varieties, biodynamics, and humanely treated livestock are a few of the alternative product choices sought by specific consumer segments. The choice to pursue a niche marketing strategy will not guarantee success and, similar to any business decision, requires critical assessment. Exploring niche markets is representative of the set of management choices every agricultural operation faces, as niche marketing provides creative managers with the means to use new and untapped resources while creating new revenue streams. Doing so successfully requires significantly different management skills and marketing strategies. It defines niche markets, outlines the steps to evaluate an operation's current strategic position, examines how a niche market focus might affect that position, and finally sketches out the important components of a niche marketing plan. Essential elements of a niche marketing strategy to consider include to know the customers. Segmenting the overall market allows the business manager to target what the business venture can offer. They set clear goals and objectives for what the business hopes to achieve by following a niche marketing approach. Reach new customer segments, lower marketing costs, secure premium pricing. Does niche marketing match up with the resources, capabilities and preferences of the venture? Niche markets consist of groups of consumers, market segments within the larger marketplace who have similar demographic, buying behavior and/or lifestyle characteristics. Examples include food buyers who prioritize quality assurances and source of production, and consumers who seek an easy preparation entree available in convenient form. Even consumers with the same buying behavior may have different motivations, which are essential elements to know for marketing and promotion. Now, in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Buying behavior is the decision processes and acts of people involved in buying and using products. Consumer psychology is a specialty area that studies how thoughts, beliefs, feelings and perceptions influence how people buy and relate to goods and services. Customer satisfaction surveys provide a way to gain formal feedback from customers about products and services. The motivation and other investment that customers expend in seeking, acquiring, using and disposing of products and services. Total customer value is the total value that a customer spends on products and services. It is a reflection of the abilities of a good business to attract and keep its customers.